Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It comes in 1/35 scale and it copies a German vehicle Sd.Kfz 247 Ausf.B with MG34. So it's not difficult to guess that this is an armored vehicle together with a machine gun on the top. And we have a commercial sample here. It's a kit number 351112, and we are going to open it together and check what is actually included here and why it might be an interesting build in a popular scale. So first of all, it's I would say typical box size for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We also have some information about the kit here. So length of the finished model will be just 144 millimeters, so it's not huge vehicle, and there are 258 parts to be assembled together. By the way, there are several marking options included here. You can see them. Well, there are 2 of them, but still it's better than 1, as some people say. Okay, so box is sealed with the tape, so I'm going to cut through it right now and we will check everything together. And again, I will remind you that if this seal is broken, then it means that somebody opened box before you, and you should ask seller why it is cut through on your box. And of course, if you want to support us, you can use the special donate button on our website, or you can join our YouTube channel somewhere there and choose one of the special, let's say, programs which will give you certain benefits. So box size is, I would say, typical for this brand. We have color printed top cover and we have sturdy white cardboard box. And now I'm going to open it and we will take a closer look what is hidden inside. So here we have all the sprues. They're packed into the same plastic bag, and then we have assembly manual on the bottom. Decals should be hidden in the assembly manual. That's also a standard thing for ICM. And this is a resealable plastic bag, so it's quite easy to open. Just give me a second and I will be taking out all these parts. Okay. So I will place this bag aside. I can also place this box aside. So first of all, we have vinyl tires. They're packed into the separate plastic bag. This is definitely not the greatest feature to have, and you know that I'm not a huge fan of vinyl tires. They look okay for out of the box build, but if you want a better features, definitely go for some resin upgrade, which will give you better details on this part of the vehicle. But you can see the tire looks fine. There are no features on the tire walls. And of course we have only one attachment point to this vinyl sprue, if we can call it so. Next we start with a small gray plastic sprue. Here we have various panels for the external features, and they also have some recessed panel lines, and I would say that molding quality seems to be fine. We also have some guiding elements on the opposite side, so it won't be difficult to align them all together. Just pay attention on their fitment, because it's always a good idea to dry fit parts first and then go with a final, let's say, gluing stage. So here we go on with a bigger plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to the top armor panel of the hull. As you can see, it is molded together with the bonnet closed, even though this hatch will be separate. Of course, we have this area visible on the final model, and I think that's the floor panel. As you can see, there are also some pre-molded features which should look good with some washing applied. And as for the interior, here you can see the dashboard, also the front windscreen, and also various boxes which will be installed here and there. As for the internals, there are not that many features, so pay attention to this. And we also have the push marks. I know that they will not be visible, but some modders might be pissed off and they will try to correct it. Next we continue with a clear plastic frame. This one is packed into the separate plastic bag, which should ensure that this part arrives to you intact. Even though here we will need only lenses, because as you remember we are dealing with the armored vehicle, that's why we do not need all these glasses. We need only the lenses for the lamps, and that's pretty much all. Okay, next we continue with parts for the main chassis. So here I guess I will have to zoom out so that you can see the whole picture, let's say, because these are separate bars for the chassis. We also have quite nice details on the suspension elements, so it's just a matter of combining all this stuff together and you'll be good to go. Be careful with the thin parts, because they're really thin. Here you can see comparison with my fingertip, and that's why they will require maybe usage of the plastic saw, not the plastic knife or plastic cutters, because plastic cutters will easily break it and then it will be difficult to fix it. Next, we continue with various accessories. So this is a handy bonus which can be placed inside your vehicle. Obviously, you are not obliged to use all of them, and that's why it's a handy thing to have in your spare parts box, because all these items are useful for a World War II diorama project. Next, we continue with two identical plastic frames. They are dedicated to suspension parts, obviously, so I will show you on the one because they carry the same set of parts. I guess we need to zoom out a bit. Here we have suspension arms, we also have brake drums and also wheel rims, and also these small springs for the suspension. Again, molding quality looks fine, and it's really impressive that ICM decided to detail all these features, even though they won't be visible on the final vehicle unless you build in some special diorama project, let's say, or you have some plans how to open it. Here we continue with the final gray plastic sprue. These are side armor walls. Note that one of the doors is molded separately. We have also engine parts here, radio equipment, spare wheel in the case, and also wheel fenders which are molded separately, and they will have to be inserted here in these slots. And everything looks fine. If I flip it over, here inside you can see also special guiding elements which will help you with alignment, so it's just a matter of careful separation. And note that attachment points are placed on the lower surfaces mostly, so it should be easy to separate these parts without actually damaging these panels. Next, we continue with the decal sheet. It was hidden in the assembly manual, but printing quality is really nice. We have several number plates, and also we have the gauges for the instrument panel, so everything will be covered. And next we proceed with assembly manual. So assembly manual is a typical ICM brochure. It's printed in color, nothing surprising. We have short history note on the first page and some technical specifications. Next we continue with the parts map. Red color means that parts are not used, so as you can see almost whole clear sprue stays unused. And we start assembly with the main chassis. It should be quite easy thing, even though it might look that you have to combine a lot of parts. But as you can see, if you follow the instructions, it won't be difficult. Here, by the way, you can see the engine, and I would recommend to think about wiring on this element, because it will give some extra features to the powertrain of the vehicle. Next, we start working on the floor panel. We also have separate doors. So as you can see, the manufacturer does not propose you the option to open it. So if you would like to open it, you have to think it through. And here we install hull on the chassis. We also install various suspension and drivetrain parts, as well as the full-wheel drive system. So be careful with it. Check the alignment, as I said before. These are the interior parts, so a lot of control elements, dashboard, seats, and all this stuff will be visible, so it might be a good idea to try some weathering techniques on this part so that it won't be like a stock new vehicle on the front. But here we continue with more of the external features, such as armored windows here and there. Next we proceed with some minor elements being installed into these armored vehicles. That's the front windscreen details, and then we install this top panel on the lower section, and of course headlamps, do not forget about them. These are stowage boxes, and their choice will depend on the marking you choose, because the different markings offer you a slightly different combinations. Spare wheel, of course, on the rear side, and more of the stowage boxes on the opposite side. So here we continue with some antennas and of course machine gun. And as for the marking options, here you can see that we have one in the, let's say, summer camouflage and one in the gray camouflage, both with quite high antennas, so pay attention to this. And kit should be already available. You can get it, for example, in Modelimex. I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!